Good morning, everybody. I had a inquiry about what to check on the Derette XC1100 when you first receive it, probably even before your first start. You're going to receive it in a crate, very well packed up, lots of nails. The crate has 3 brackets on each side that you're going to have to pry off. I pried it off. Later, I found a video of somebody opening up a crate like that using an angle grinder to cut the brackets. That would have saved me a fair bit of time and effort. It's going to be strapped down fairly securely with some heavy-duty nylon straps, so you're going to have to cut those. I've heard some horror stories about machines coming without oil. Derette had put approximately 2 hours on my machine testing it, so I was fairly confident that I had oil, but I still wanted to check it. On the machine's right-hand side, there is an oil quantity, or the oil dipstick, just in front of the alternator. You reach down there, we pull it out, and we can see that the oil quantity is good. We have just recently changed the oil. I've put the oil dipstick back in. The next thing you're going to want to check on the machine is the hydraulic quantity. This is the filler cap here for the hydraulics. If we come over to the machine left-hand side, you can see that we have a hydraulic sight gauge here, and it's approximately half full. You probably don't want to take it much more than half full, because the hydraulic fluid does expand a little bit when it gets warm. And if you have too much in it, it will just vent itself out of the top of the cap. There's some vents underneath that, and I did have that happen to me, so I've lived and learned. As you put on different implements, they do test all the implements, which is very nice of Derette at the factory to make sure they work. But sometimes it does draw out a little bit of the hydraulic quantity, so as first time you use implements, you may need to top up the hydraulic quantity on the machine. So check it after each implement that you attach. Grease points, we have 3 grease point attachments on each side for the boom. On the front of the boom for the connection plate, we have 2 grease point attachments here. For the pins on the connection plate, they have a grease point attachment there. One grease point attachment I wasn't familiar with, but I learned very quickly because it started to squeak very early on, was for the hydraulic ram. There is what they call a needle point grease fitting in, I believe that's the correct name, in the top and the bottom of the ram there. And Derette does send you a specific adapter to put onto your grease gun, so that's what that's for. If you're not familiar with that, which I wasn't, but I did learn about that very quickly also. We have one other set of grease zerks, which aren't very easily to be seen, and I'll have to go to the other side. Right here, there it is right there. It's for the parking brake pins. So on each side it has that, so don't forget to grease those also. And that's all the grease point attachments for that. That's the main things to check initially before starting it up. The last thing that I would do is, obviously the throttle is slightly different than what I was expecting. On this thing, full forward is idle and back is maximum. I would have thought it would have been different, so I made the mistake of starting mine the first time at full throttle. So don't do from my mistake. Full forward, that is idle throttle. Make sure it's an idle throttle. When you go to start it up, it'll take you approximately 7 seconds from turning the key on. You'll have the engine displays, spool up, comes with the logo, and then you get the instrument indications, and then you can start your machine. I hope that video has helped out and has given you enough information to safely start and enjoy the machine for the first time. Thank you.